What up, everyone? It's your boy Soju from the Straight Chillin' Podcast, and today I'm going to talk about my top 5 Korean horror films. Coming in at number 5 is A Tale of Two Sisters. Also known as Jeonghwa, this film is loosely based on a Korean fairy tale and follows two sisters as they adjust to living with their new stepmother in their isolated country home. I think this film does a great job combining disturbing images, a hauntingly beautiful soundtrack, and a charmingly deadly setting to capture that feeling of fairy tale horror. I also love the mystery that this film surrounds itself with, and the ending sequences had me questioning so much of what I had seen, making this a perfect film for multiple rewatches.
Time of death, 3:31 p.m.
Number 4 is Thirst, also known as Bakjui. This movie is a really interesting take on vampires, and while it is known for its beautiful cinematography, one of the most intriguing aspects for me was the exploration into the toxic relationship of its two main characters. Being a film about vampires, Thirst definitely delivers with a ton of bloody gore, but also balances well with a lot of tender, thought-provoking, and even comedic moments. Thirst offers a lot of great new ideas to the mythos of vampires and does well in avoiding a lot of the old vampire tropes. My number 3 pick is Train to Busan, also known as Busan. In a time when the zombie subgenre felt oversaturated and unoriginal, Train to Busan created a zombie apocalypse that felt fresh and exciting. Following a group of survivors who are stuck on a bullet train traveling from Seoul to Busan, this movie moves at breakneck speed, and once the action gets going, this film will have you on the edge of your seat until the very end. Filled with a ton of emotion as well as some gruesome zombie gore, Train to Busan is, in my opinion, one of the best zombie films ever made.
나아가 이제까지 본 악질 중에서 갑 중에 갑이요.
Coming in at number 2 is The Wailing, also known as Goksung. This film follows a small-town rural police officer who is trying to find the cure to his young daughter's possession. I personally love the exploration of folklore, religion, superstitions, and social commentaries that are explored from a Korean perspective throughout this movie. This is a film I have watched many times over the years now and is one of my all-time favorite horror films that is reminiscent of other folklore-driven horror such as Robert Eggers' The Witch.
잠깐. 제시카 외동딸 일리노이 시카고 과선배는 김진모 그는 이사촌.
Finally, coming in at number 1 is Parasite, also known as Gisaeng-chung. This is the newest film on the list and one that has gained significant international praise since its release. One of the interesting things about this film is that it spends a large portion of its runtime not as a traditional horror film, but more in the realms of a black comedy. However, as the plot unravels, the darker elements of this film begin to reveal themselves, not only in some horrifically brutal scenes, but also in the thematic explorations of things like class inequality and social injustices. Parasite is a beautifully dark and well-crafted film that transcends the horror genre and stands out as a piece of cinematic excellence.
근데 지금 진짜로 이상한 게 뭔 것 같아.
So there they are, my top 5 Korean horror films. Let me know what you think on my list, as well as some of your favorite Korean horror films in the comments below. Make sure to hit the subscribe button to get weekly horror content from the Straight Chillin' Podcast, and as always, until next time, don't forget to keep chillin'.